Welcome to the YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub, your one-stop solution for expert guidance, best practices, and actionable knowledge in the world of contact centers. Explore, learn, and enhance contact center skills. Let's see behavioral most important questions of Delphi forecasting method. Let's see first behavioral question. Tell me about a time you had to forecast without reliable historical data. How did you handle it? Think for a moment. And the answer is here. Let me share an example of forecasting without reliable historical data. Situation: we were launching a new digital claims process for an insurance client. There was no historical volume or handle time data available to rely on. Task: my responsibility was to produce an accurate call volume and HD forecast to support staffing decisions and protect SLA performance from day one. Action: to address the data gap, I initiated a Delphi forecasting exercise. I brought together a cross-functional expert panel, including workforce management, operations, client subject matter experts, quality, billing, and training. We conducted 3 anonymous Delphi rounds. In each round, experts submitted independent estimates for volume and AHT. I summarized the range, variance, and key drivers. We shared anonymized rationales, not names, to avoid bias. Experts refined their estimates based on new insights. Finally, I translated the consensus into best case, most likely, and worst case scenarios. Result: the Delphi process converged on a forecast of 2,300 calls per day, with an average handle time of 540 seconds. Using this forecast, we staffed the launch appropriately. In the first week, we achieved 94% service level. Forecast variance remained under 5%. And we avoided both understaffing and overstaffing. This demonstrated that structured expert judgment, when applied correctly, can outperform unreliable historical data. Next question. Describe a situation where experts strongly disagreed during a forecasting cycle. How did you resolve it? Think for a moment. And the answer is here. Here's an example of handling strong expert disagreement during forecasting. Situation: we were preparing for a new policy rollout, and expert forecasts varied widely, from 1,800 to 3,000 calls per day. This created visible tension between the operations team and the client stakeholders. Task: my responsibility was to bring the group to a credible consensus, without introducing bias, hierarchy pressure, or interpersonal conflict. Action: I deliberately applied the Delphi methodology to structure the discussion. First, I ensured full anonymity, so inputs were evaluated on logic, not job titles. Second, I shifted the conversation away from debating numbers and focused on the rationale behind each estimate. Third, I conducted a sensitivity analysis to compare underlying assumptions, such as customer confusion, repeat call risk, and HD impact. Fourth, I shared a variance breakdown, clearly explaining what the spread meant in terms of operational risk. Finally, I facilitated 2 additional Delphi rounds, allowing experts to refine their estimates using shared insights. Result: the forecasts converged at 2,450 calls per day. Both operations and the client team aligned behind the outcome. Escalations reduced significantly. Leadership accepted the evidence-backed forecast. And when the rollout went live, Actual volume came in at 2,510 calls, validating the forecast's accuracy. This experience reinforced that structured consensus beats unstructured debate, especially when expert opinions initially diverge. Next question. Give an example of when Delphi Insights prevented a major operational risk. Think for a moment. And the answer is here. Here's an example of how Delphi Insights helped prevent a major operational risk. Situation: a major system migration was planned, and initial leadership assumptions significantly downplayed the operational risk. The prevailing view was that existing staffing would be sufficient. Task: my responsibility was to validate whether additional staffing and safeguards were truly necessary, and to do so with evidence, not intuition. Action: I initiated a Delphi forecasting panel involving experts from technology, operations, quality assurance, and training. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, experts surfaced risks that were not visible at the leadership level. The panel revealed an expected 40 to 45% increase in repeat calls, an average handle time increase of 30% during the migration, and a first-day volume spike of approximately 2.5 times normal levels. These insights clearly showed that the migration risk was materially higher than initially assumed. I consolidated the findings and translated them into operational impact scenarios, demonstrating the SLA and customer experience risk if staffing remained unchanged. Result: based on the Delphi outputs, leadership approved an 18% staffing increase and the deployment of subject matter experts for real-time troubleshooting. As a result, we avoided an SLA collapse, maintained service levels above 88% throughout the migration window, and ensured customer impact was tightly controlled. This experience demonstrated how Delphi converts hidden operational risk into actionable prevention, protecting both service performance and organizational credibility. Next question. Tell me about a time you used Delphi to influence leadership or client decisions. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi to influence leadership and client decisions. Situation: a client wanted to reduce staffing for a new campaign, believing customer response would be minimal. This posed a serious SLA risk if demand was underestimated. Task: my responsibility was to present a credible, data-backed argument that balanced cost control with service protection. Action: I initiated a Delphi forecasting exercise involving workforce management, operations, client subject matter experts, and marketing. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, deeper insights emerged. The panel revealed that the marketing push would reach approximately 400,000 customers, not 150,000 as initially assumed. Chat average handle time was expected to increase by 25% due to offer complexity, and the expected volume uplift ranged from 50 to 60%, far higher than the client's estimate. I consolidated these findings into a clear leadership presentation, highlighting forecast drivers, quantified risk, and SLA impact scenarios. Result: based on the Delphi evidence, the client approved additional staffing. When the campaign went live, actual uplift came in at 54%, closely matching the Delphi forecast, and service levels remained stable at 92%, avoiding penalties and client dissatisfaction. This experience demonstrated how Delphi transforms expert insight into persuasive, decision-grade evidence, aligning stakeholders while protecting both performance and credibility. Next question. Share a time when Delphi helped you identify a hidden forecast driver. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped uncover a hidden forecast driver. Situation: for 2 consecutive months, our forecasts were consistently off by 12 to 15%. Standard variance analysis was not revealing a clear cause. Task: my responsibility was to identify the hidden driver behind the forecast miss and restore accuracy. Action: I initiated a Delphi diagnostic round, focusing specifically on driver attribution rather than volume prediction. I asked experts across operations, quality, training, and workforce management to estimate the percentage contribution of different drivers and explain why they believed those drivers were impacting volume. As rationales were shared anonymously, a pattern emerged. The quality team revealed an increase in script errors following recent updates. The training team highlighted low proficiency among new hires, especially on complex scenarios. Operations then connected these issues to a rise in repeat calls. Through Delphi convergence, the panel estimated that repeat calls were contributing 9 to 12% additional volume, which closely matched the unexplained forecast variance. Result: based on these insights, we immediately fixed the problematic scripts and launched targeted refresher training for affected agents. The impact was measurable. Repeat calls reduced by 10%. The following month's forecast variance dropped to 4%. And first call resolution improved by 7 percentage points. This experience reinforced the value of Delphi as more than a forecasting tool. Delphi exposed the true driver behind the variance, allowing us to correct the root cause rather than just adjust the numbers. Next question. Describe a situation where Delphi helped in multi-channel forecasting. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi supported multi-channel forecasting. Situation: we were launching a new payment feature, but the expected channel mix, voice, chat, email, and WhatsApp, was unknown. There was no reliable historical pattern to guide staffing. Task: my responsibility was to produce an accurate, channel-level forecast to ensure correct staffing across all channels. Action: I initiated a Delphi forecasting panel with experts from operations, digital teams, quality assurance, and the client. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, the panel estimated the channel distribution: approximately 45% voice, 35% chat, 15% WhatsApp, and 5% email. The rationale behind these estimates highlighted customer preference shifts observed in previous campaigns and higher complexity driving customers toward assisted channels. I translated this consensus into channel-specific staffing and routing plans. Result: when the feature went live, actual demand closely matched the Delphi forecast. Voice at 47%, chat at 33%, WhatsApp at 14%, and email at 6%. As a result, we achieved 97% service adherence across channels and avoided overload or misallocation of resources. This demonstrated how Delphi enables accurate multi-channel forecasting when historical data is unavailable. Next question. Tell me about a time you had to push back against over-optimistic predictions using Delphi. Think for a moment. Here's an example of pushing back against over-optimistic predictions using Delphi. Situation: the automation team projected that a new chatbot would deflect 40% of incoming calls. Based on this assumption, there was pressure to reduce headcount immediately. Task: my responsibility was to validate the deflection claim objectively before making staffing reductions that could risk SLAs and customer experience. Action: I initiated a Delphi evaluation involving experts from operations, quality assurance, digital teams, and training. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, experts surfaced key limitations. They identified that the bot lacked emotional handling capability. Only about 25% of call types were truly bot-ready, and product complexity would likely cause bot failure and escalation. As these insights were shared and refined, Delphi converged on a realistic estimate. The consensus deflection rate settled at 22 to 25%, significantly lower than the initial 40% claim. Result: based on the Delphi outcome, we maintained appropriate staffing levels rather than making premature cuts. When the bot went live, actual deflection came in at 24%, validating the Delphi forecast and preventing severe understaffing and SLA breaches. This experience demonstrated how Delphi provides a disciplined way to challenge over-optimistic assumptions, ensuring decisions are grounded in operational reality rather than aspiration. Next question. Describe how you handled resistance from senior experts during the Delphi process. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I handled resistance from a senior expert during a Delphi process. Situation: during a forecasting cycle, a senior operations leader strongly resisted the Delphi output because it conflicted with his personal intuition and past experience. Task: my responsibility was to maintain objectivity, protect the integrity of the Delphi process, and ensure continued collaboration without escalating conflict. Action: I reinforced the core principles of the Delphi method. First, I reiterated that all inputs were anonymous, ensuring no individual perspective, senior or otherwise, dominated the outcome. Second, I emphasized evidence-based reasoning, focusing discussions on assumptions and drivers rather than opinions. Third, I highlighted the value of multi-round validation, explaining that convergence, not authority, defines forecast quality. Instead of debating hierarchy, I facilitated a discussion around rational alignment. I shared how variance had reduced across rounds and demonstrated that independent experts were converging on similar assumptions, even if their starting points differed. This shifted the conversation from who is right to what the evidence shows. Result: the senior leader accepted the consensus-based forecast and continued to participate constructively. Cross-functional collaboration improved noticeably. And in the following cycle, forecast accuracy reached 95%, reinforcing trust in the Delphi process. This experience showed that structured transparency and evidence, not authority, are the strongest tools for overcoming resistance. Next question is: share a situation where Delphi helped you design a contingency or scenario-based plan. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped me design a scenario-based contingency plan. Situation: A national-level advertising campaign was scheduled to air during prime-time television. The reach was massive, but the customer response was highly unpredictable. Task: my responsibility was to forecast uncertain demand and ensure we were prepared for volatility without overstaffing. Action: I used the Delphi method to shift from single-number forecasting to scenario-based planning. I assembled a Delphi panel with experts from marketing, operations, client teams, and workforce management. Instead of asking for one estimate, I structured the exercise to produce 3 scenarios. Through multiple Delphi rounds, the group converged on a best-case scenario with a 20% uplift, a most likely scenario with a 45% uplift, and a worst-case scenario with a 70% uplift. Using these outputs, I designed a 3-tier staffing and SLA protection plan. Each tier had pre-approved staffing levels, clear SLA expectations, and trigger thresholds that defined when to move from one scenario to the next. Result: when the campaign went live, actual volume increased by 48%, closely matching the most likely Delphi scenario. We activated the correct staffing tier at the right time, protected SLAs throughout the spike, and avoided both panic hiring and unnecessary cost. This experience demonstrated how Delphi enables disciplined contingency planning, turning uncertainty into controlled, scenario-driven execution. Next question is: tell me about a time you used Delphi to support strategic planning or budgeting. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi to support strategic planning and budgeting. Situation: a client requested a 12-month headcount plan for a product that was still evolving. There were multiple unknowns around demand, automation, policy changes, and seasonality. Task: my responsibility was to build a realistic long-term forecast that leadership could confidently use for budgeting and workforce planning. Action: instead of relying on a single static forecast, I implemented quarterly Delphi forecasting cycles. I brought together a cross-functional panel including the product manager, operations leaders, quality assurance, training, and workforce management. In each Delphi cycle, experts provided forward-looking insights rather than historical assumptions. Through these rounds, we identified several upcoming drivers: a policy change expected to reduce certain contact types, planned automation improvements that would gradually deflect volume, known peak seasonality events, and a feature rollout in Q3 expected to increase average handle time temporarily. I consolidated these insights into a rolling 12-month forecast, refreshed quarterly, with clearly documented assumptions, risks, and scenarios. Result: the final outcome was a 12-month headcount plan with less than 7% average forecast variance across the year. Because Delphi documented the rationale behind every assumption, budget approvals moved smoothly, leadership confidence increased, and workforce planning decisions were aligned to future reality rather than guesswork. This experience showed how Delphi transforms long-term planning from static prediction into adaptive, strategy-driven forecasting. Next question is: describe a time when Delphi helped you challenge an inaccurate historical trend. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped challenge an inaccurate historical trend. Situation: historical data indicated that post-billing call volumes typically increased by around 10%. However, early signals, such as customer sentiment and social media commentary, suggested a much larger spike this time. Task. My responsibility was to validate whether the historical trend was still applicable before finalizing staffing plans. Action. I initiated a Delphi forecasting session with experts from operations, billing subject matter experts, quality assurance, and digital teams. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, experts surfaced critical changes in customer behavior. They highlighted confusion caused by a new bill layout, errors in auto-generated SMS notifications, and high dissatisfaction expressed on social channels. As these insights were shared and refined, Delphi converged on a forecast that significantly differed from history. The consensus predicted a 30 to 35% uplift, rather than the historical 10% assumption. Result? When billing went live, actual volume increased by 32%, closely matching the Delphi forecast. Because we had staffed for the higher scenario, we avoided severe understaffing, protected SLAs, and maintained customer experience. Following this outcome, leadership formally adopted Delphi as a mandatory step for forecasting during policy and billing changes. This experience demonstrated that Delphi is essential for detecting when historical trends no longer apply. Next question is: tell me about a time when Delphi revealed a risk no one initially anticipated. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi revealed a previously unanticipated operational risk. Situation: we were preparing for a routine interest rate update. The general assumption across teams was that the impact on call volume and service levels would be moderate and manageable. Task: my responsibility was to validate whether this low-risk perception was accurate and ensure we were not overlooking any hidden operational exposure. Action: I initiated a Delphi forecasting and diagnostic exercise involving experts from operations, training, quality assurance, and client-facing teams. During the Delphi rounds, important risks surfaced that had not been identified earlier. The training team highlighted potential agent confusion around new loan slabs and rate calculations, which could reduce first call resolution. The quality team reinforced this by pointing out that even small interpretation errors could lead to incorrect guidance and rework. Operations added that ambiguous customer communication around the rate update could trigger repeat calls, especially from customers seeking reassurance or clarification. This combination of risks had not been flagged in the initial planning discussions. Result? Based on these Delphi insights, we took preventive action before launch. We updated call scripts and job aids, rolled out a targeted microlearning module for agents, and assigned subject matter experts for real-time floor support during the rollout. As a result, first call resolution remained stable, repeat call rates stayed below 5%, and we avoided any service level or customer experience degradation. This experience demonstrated that Delphi is highly effective at uncovering hidden risks early, allowing teams to prevent issues instead of reacting after performance is impacted. Next question is: share a time when Delphi helped you break a deadlock between multiple departments. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped break a cross-functional deadlock. Situation: we were forecasting volume for a new card activation flow. Operations believed demand would skyrocket, while the client team expected volume to decline. Forecast discussions became stalled and emotionally charged. Task. My responsibility was to bring both sides to a neutral, evidence-based forecast, without favoring either perspective. Action. I initiated a Delphi forecasting cycle with fully anonymous rounds. In the first rounds, each function shared its reasoning independently. Operations highlighted app navigation complexity, which they believed would drive higher contact volume. The client team explained that customer communication had been simplified, reducing confusion. Quality assurance pointed out that recent script corrections had improved first call resolution. By sharing these rationales anonymously and focusing on drivers rather than opinions, the discussion shifted away from emotion and toward evidence. Experts refined their estimates using the shared insights. Result? The Delphi process converged on an 18% uplift. Lower than operations initially feared, but higher than the client team expected. Both groups accepted the Delphi-backed forecast without escalation. When the flow launched, actual volume tracked closely, and forecast variance stayed under 4%. This experience demonstrated that Delphi is an effective tool for resolving deadlocks. By replacing positional debate with structured, evidence-based consensus. Next question is: describe a time when Delphi helped you prepare proactive mitigation strategies. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped me prepare proactive mitigation strategies. Situation: we were preparing for a new feature release that leadership expected would reduce inbound call volume. However, there was uncertainty around early customer adoption and potential short-term disruption. Task: my responsibility was to forecast demand accurately and ensure the operation was ready in case call volumes did not decline as expected. Action: I initiated a Delphi forecasting exercise with a cross-functional panel. Through structured, anonymous rounds, experts surfaced critical risks. Operations predicted slow early adoption, meaning customers would continue calling. Training anticipated high initial confusion, especially among less digital-savvy users. Client teams highlighted that high-value customers would likely call first, increasing risk. Technology flagged the possibility of early app glitches after release. Instead of relying on a single forecast, I used Delphi outputs to define most likely and worst-case scenarios. Based on these scenarios, we built proactive mitigation plans, including maintaining temporary staffing buffers, prepositioning subject matter experts, and setting clear intraday monitoring and escalation triggers. Result: when the feature launched, adoption was slower than expected, and inbound call volume remained elevated for 5 days. Because of our Delphi-driven preparation, service levels remained healthy at 91%. There was no queue overflow, and customer experience was protected despite higher than expected demand. This experience demonstrated how Delphi enables proactive mitigation, allowing teams to prepare for uncertainty rather than react after performance is impacted. Next question is: tell me about a time when you used Delphi to validate or challenge a leader's assumption. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi to validate and respectfully challenge a leadership assumption. Situation: a senior leader assumed that average handle time for a new campaign would be similar to past campaigns. Based on this assumption, no additional staffing or training was planned. Task. My responsibility was to independently validate this assumption and raise concerns without creating conflict or appearing opinion-driven. Action. I initiated a Delphi forecasting panel involving operations subject matter experts, quality assurance, and training teams. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, experts surfaced critical differences from prior campaigns. They highlighted that the new call scripts were significantly longer. Customer documentation requirements would take more time, and agents lacked familiarity with the new process during the initial phase. As these rationales were shared and refined, Delphi converged on a forecast that clearly differed from leadership's assumption. The panel predicted that average handle time would be 20 to 25% higher. I presented these findings as a Delphi-driven consensus, framed around evidence and risk, rather than as my personal opinion. Result? Leadership approved additional staffing and extended training support ahead of launch. When the campaign went live, actual average handle time increased by 22%, directly validating the Delphi forecast. This experience demonstrated how Delphi enables constructive challenge, allowing teams to test assumptions objectively while preserving trust and alignment. Next question is: give an example of when you used Delphi to manage a high-stakes client review. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi to manage a high-stakes client review. Situation: during a quarterly client review, we were asked to explain unpredictable volume trends that had caused concern and uncertainty. The client needed clarity and reassurance, not generic explanations. Task. My responsibility was to present a transparent, evidence-based justification for the trends, while restoring client confidence in our forecasting and planning approach. Action. I conducted a Delphi diagnostic exercise to isolate the true drivers behind the volatility. I engaged experts from operations, training, quality assurance, digital teams, and client-facing functions. Through structured, anonymous Delphi rounds, the panel identified several underlying factors: training gaps that reduced first call resolution, an increase in low-quality interactions following script changes, system latency that extended handling time and queue exposure, and unannounced marketing activity that triggered unexpected demand. I consolidated these insights into a clear, structured narrative, showing how each factor contributed to volume volatility and what controls were being put in place. Result? The client appreciated the clarity, transparency, and objectivity of the Delphi findings. As a result, they adopted a monthly Delphi review cadence, agreed to provide improved notice periods for campaigns, and this reduced surprise volume spikes by 40% over subsequent months. This experience demonstrated how Delphi builds credibility during high-stakes conversations, transforming uncertainty into trust and actionable partnership decisions. Next question is: tell me about a time you used Delphi for long-term workforce planning. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi for long-term workforce planning. Situation: we needed to create a 12-month hiring strategy for a new product that was still evolving. Demand patterns, process complexity, and automation timelines were all uncertain. Task: my responsibility was to forecast long-term volumes and workforce needs. Despite limited historical data and high uncertainty, Action. Instead of relying on a static forecast, I implemented quarterly Delphi forecasting cycles. In each cycle, I engaged a cross-functional expert panel and captured forward-looking inputs on how average handle time was expected to evolve as processes stabilized, upcoming seasonality patterns, the timeframe for process maturity, and uncertainties around automation rollout and adoption. A key advantage of Delphi was that it allowed us to track how expert assumptions changed quarter over quarter, giving early visibility into shifts in demand drivers and complexity. Using these insights, I translated the Delphi outputs into a dynamic workforce plan, with three-phased hiring waves, each aligned to expected volume growth and complexity changes. Result? This approach kept staffing levels closely aligned to actual demand throughout the year. As a result, we avoided overhiring during early uncertainty, reduced reliance on reactive staffing, and achieved a 30% reduction in overtime costs, while maintaining service levels. This experience demonstrated how Delphi supports adaptive, long-horizon workforce planning, turning uncertainty into a structured, controllable hiring strategy. Next question is: describe a time when Delphi helped reduce forecast variance significantly. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped significantly reduce forecast variance. Situation: for a specific line of business, our forecast variance had been consistently above 10% for several months. This level of volatility was disrupting staffing plans, cost control, and SLA stability. Task: my objective was to bring forecast variance below 5% and make the operation predictable and stable. Action: I initiated multiple Delphi iterations with a broad cross-functional panel that included operations, quality assurance, training, digital teams, and the client. Rather than focusing only on volume numbers, the Delphi rounds were structured to identify root drivers of variance. Through rationale sharing and convergence, Delphi highlighted three key issues: incorrect contact categorization, which distorted volume trends, agent errors leading to repeat calls, inflating demand, and chat-to-voice migration, which was not being captured accurately in forecasts. Based on these insights, we implemented targeted corrective actions: category cleanup, focused coaching and training, and improved channel migration tracking. After these fixes, I reran the Delphi process to recalibrate assumptions and validate the new baseline. Result: forecast variance dropped from 12% to 4% and remained consistently under 5% for 4 consecutive months. That line of business became one of the most predictable and stable operations we managed. This experience reinforced how Delphi not only improves forecasts, but also helps stabilize operations by uncovering and correcting the real sources of variance. Next question is: tell me about a time when Delphi helped you respond effectively to a rapidly changing situation. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how Delphi helped me respond effectively to a rapidly changing situation. Situation: during a major e-commerce promotion, the client unexpectedly extended the sale by 48 hours. This immediately changed customer behavior, and historical data was no longer reliable for forecasting the extended surge. Task: my responsibility was to produce an immediate updated forecast and design a revised staffing plan to protect service levels under extreme time pressure. Action: I initiated a fast-track Delphi cycle, optimized for speed without sacrificing rigor. I quickly engaged experts from operations, digital teams, quality assurance, and marketing. Each expert independently provided expected uplift estimates, anticipated HD impact, and channel-specific behavior changes. I consolidated their reasoning, shared anonymized insights back with the group, and facilitated one rapid Delphi refinement round to force convergence. The consensus indicated an additional 65 to 70% volume surge over the next 48 hours, a 15% increase in average handle time, and a 30% spike in chat concurrency. Using these outputs, I immediately translated insights into action. We reallocated staff from low-priority queues, activated voluntary overtime, and adjusted schedules to match peak demand windows. Result? Despite the sudden extension and extreme volatility, service levels remained above 89%. During a period where we had anticipated major failure, the client specifically praised the speed, accuracy, and agility of the Delphi-driven response. This experience showed how Delphi excels in fast-moving environments, allowing teams to make confident, evidence-based decisions when conditions change in real time. Next question is: describe a situation where you used Delphi to improve stakeholder confidence in forecasting. Think for a moment. Here's an example of how I used Delphi to restore stakeholder confidence in forecasting. Situation: several stakeholders, particularly the client vice president, had lost confidence in our forecasts. The last two major product launches had shown large variances, and trust in the forecasting process was low. Task: my responsibility was to rebuild credibility by delivering a forecast that was transparent, defensible, and broadly trusted. For the next high-visibility launch. Action: I initiated a formal Delphi forecasting project that deliberately included all key stakeholders. The Delphi panel consisted of workforce management forecasters, operations managers, quality assurance and training leads, client subject matter experts, and product analysts. To ensure credibility, I enforced strict Delphi discipline. All inputs were fully anonymous, eliminating hierarchy bias. Every estimate was supported by documented rationale, not just numbers. I tracked and shared variance reduction metrics after each round. And instead of forcing a single number, I presented best case, likely, and worst case scenarios. Across 3 Delphi rounds, we achieved clear convergence. Estimate variance reduced from 30% to 8%, and finally to 4%. Result: when the product launched, actual volume came in within 3.5% of the Delphi forecast. Our best forecasting accuracy in 6 months. Stakeholder confidence improved dramatically. The client vice president explicitly acknowledged the transparency and rigor of the process and requested that Delphi-based forecasting be used for all future launches. This experience demonstrated that Delphi doesn't just improve forecast accuracy. It restores trust by making uncertainty visible, structured, and explainable. Thanks for watching my YouTube channel, Contact Center Knowledge Hub. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights. See you in the next video.